Hey, hey, hey. What was I doing? Oh yeah, JEI. Problem is, I don't really know how this is going to work. Because we're somehow going to have to load all of the JEI results. Not JEI, the loot table results. Need this. And then we also need this. Oh, the interesting thing here is there's no cache. How did we do it in casting? Identifier. Recipe.modifier.getID. Technically there won't be an ID. Yeah, there won't be an ID because it's all from one folder, so I think we just have to ignore that bit. Which I believe is optional anyway. But there's so much rubbish you have to do for JEI. I think that's everything. Actually, it wasn't as much as I thought it was. That's pretty quick. Also, did the stream die? Yes, it did. Even though we haven't dropped any frames or anything. Oh, it looks like it just died on Twitch. Randomly. Yeah, as I say, I'm not sure how this is going to work. But we're going to try. And this bit should be easy. Because we could just do that. That gets us the block. Yeah, it's weird because it was definitely only just Twitch, because I just checked YouTube and the video is still like 15 minutes long. And then on Twitch it said we're only streaming for like 5 minutes. So this is where it could get interesting. We need to add a bunch of rubbish here. And there was a new bot announcement too that said you started streaming again. Yeah, so the bot is only running on Twitch anyway. Mainly because that's the one that you can guarantee I'll be streaming to. So we just got to do a bunch of boilerplate stuff here. I'll leave that as a question mark. Actually, so it's just this. This is the only thing there. So we need to read the data map and then add that as a fake sign, kind of like recipe thing. So then we can access those values in JEI. Now the question is, how do we do that? Shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be that bad anyway. But we'll soon see. So that's just a basic list. And then we want to read the data map. Which I have no idea. What does this actually give us? Registry key, network codex, ID. I'm doing well. How are you? It's a bit confusing this because don't know how to actually read like each part of it. How did we actually read it? Type holder got get data, so you get the data from the block, and that's how we're getting the thing. This is going to be quite something. Yeah, we're enjoying it. So I think we need to actually read every block, which seems horrible. Because the only way we're going to get access to the map is through that. How are we even going to get a level here? This isn't going to work either. Yeah, see, this only gives client level. So it does give us registry access. I don't think it would though, would it? Does advanced loot have a tab for sniffer drops? Advanced loot info. Oh, that mod. The thing is, that doesn't really help the main problem. Because the problem, so the way that if it did show it, it would just read the loot table, right? Whereas this doesn't work on loot tables, it works on a map. like that. So we need to read each value from this map, but because it's the block, you can only get the loot table from the block, which means you need to get the block. And I don't think we can do that from the client. I mean, we could try. I mean, maybe we can. See, I can't even see an option to do it here. Get rid of this person. Registry of doesn't even show. List registry keys, list registries. Registries. I think this is because. No, wait, no, this. Apparently, this is the right one. Maybe lookup offer. Registries block. And then it would be like, it won't be that. No, it would be something like. Something like that. And then that. So that would then read the table. I think we're close. There's no way of seeing it if it's present. Hey, 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 welcome, welcome. How did we do this in the entity? Oh, I see. So we just check if it's not null. How do we get the loot table? Yeah, I don't know how we get the loot table. Unless we can read. Unless we just do it directly from the registry, maybe. Then that's the registry. So this might be the way. Okay. Didn't mean to do that. But it's not null. Data map for each. And then this. Where's my block? Understand how we can't see the block. It's interesting that that isn't working. Doesn't seem there's anything that gives us the block. Resource key of block. Because then you'd just do that. and then just that. It's interesting that I can't get the block from this. Yes, it doesn't like that either. Funny thing is, we could do all this and then it might not even read it, which is amazing. That might work. Yeah, that might work. Well, let's just try it. It should show something. It should show the input blocks because we've already set that up in JEI. The next tricky bit is going to be the loot table. Look at this. Perfect. I'm absolutely shocked that you can get the block registry from the client. Considering you can't get recipes, but you can get the blocks. Which means you don't have to do any like data pack syncing or any networking to get the recipes, which is good. Now the question is, how do we read a loot table and then add its output? So we need to, how do we do this? I don't think we've ever displayed a loot table, have we, in JEI? As far as I'm aware. So I think we're going to have to do this in a grid probably, because there could be more than one item in a loot table. I think first let's just try and get it to work. We can get the loot table because that's easy enough. We just need the, what did we do here? Identifier, blah blah blah. Drop gift from loot table. So obviously we can't drop gift from loot table here. And I don't know how you would how would you get all the items? Is advanced loot info MIT. It is. Okay, so we can have a look at how they're doing loot tables. So, do they actually do a sniffer one? Sniffer digging, yes. New gameplay loot category. Excavation de sniffer. I think we could do something similar to how we did the Obelisk Utilities old loot bag system. Because we should be able to get the table. Because the loot table would just be the same. Definitely going to need a level. Get server.accepts failure. Okay, so that gives us the loot table. Then you need loot parameters. What would this be? See, this isn't going to work. Because this isn't a server level. Tom Simple storage data exchange logs. Fix crash if sophisticated core is installed, but not sophisticated storage. Yeah, that is true. Though I do, a part of the, like, what we're changing in 26.1, I do fully intend to actually streamline the mod list better. So hopefully we won't have any random like library mods that are used for like testing. And then ultimately ended up removing it. We won't have the library mods stick around afterwards, which would be quite nice. As I say, I don't know if this is going to work because I don't think we have access to the server here. Oh, I don't know, maybe we do. The problem with this is I think this is just going to create random outputs every time. I mean, technically that might add something. No. And I'm guaranteeing it's because of the server, right? Recipe type Sniffy's drying table. Well, that was wrong for a start. Because the return value of Minecraft level .get server is null. 300% overall improvement. Tom storage star optimized. And to be fair, if it does the job. How comes every other mod gets people like making mods to improve their efficiency? And I have to do all mine manually. How are we going to fix this then? Because this is the problem. There's no way to do this without a server level. Right, let's actually have a look at advanced loot info. The trouble is, this it might just be easier to add this into dev. Because it's the same version for everything. It's hard to read it. I mean, where's it getting that from? And then project ID. One of them. Also, at the end, the author has made great efforts to optimize Tom's storage. If it still causes lag, it's recommended to replace Tom's storage with Beyond Dimension. I've seen this mod. I have seen this mod. It's very new. I say very new, it's newish. I do think we should probably look at this just for something a bit different. It supports like everything by default. It supports fluids, energy, Fe, XP, chemicals, source, mana, and souls. My question is how they support all that. Tom's can be super buggy. Yeah, it can be very buggy. Yeah. So we need to find something from this mod. Let's see what we've got in here then. JEI. Gameplay loot. Loot table widget. Extends list widget. Is this all custom? I'm guessing that is how they display the loot table stuff. Simple Storage was better. Simple Storage, the naming convention was horrific. I'm pretty sure they mistyped the name of the cables. So they were spelled with a K. Kabels, I think. Hang on. Yeah, I think it was that. So the cables for it were called that. So I spent ages trying to work out why it wasn't working. Instead of that. There is no decent pre-AE2 though. Yeah, I mean that was the space that hopefully Swiss was gonna fit into, but obviously that didn't happen. Yeah, I think a lot of mods have their own takes on like storage. Like the thing is, so I was looking at potentially adding something to routers. So you'd obviously have the importer and the exporter, but then I was going to add something like I don't know, just like a storage whatever that connected to inventories, and then you'd link that with the connector to like a terminal, and then you'd be able to view everything that was connected. Because I think that is possible with the way I've set routers up for 26. Whatever this is. Because we have a lot of the because the GUI stuff's fine because I made most of that for the Swiss mod anyway. But it'd just be like a really simple like system, and then you could connect the exporters and importers to the terminal screen instead of like separate ones. So you could do. It's hard to explain, but the guy. Let me demonstrate. I don't think we've got routers in this, so you're gonna have to just bear with. So you've got the two chests, right? So you export, import. So you export from this, import into this, right? But then my idea was to have like one of these, which would be I don't know what it'd be called, like a storage interface or something. So you'd do that instead of an exporter. And then that would connect to here, and then this would connect to here. So then you would be able to say export diamond ore. If this had diamond ore in it, instead of being connected like that, it would connect to this terminal. Be able to open, view what was in here. If that makes any sense. That was the idea. I mean, there's no reason I couldn't do it, I guess. But just have a linking tool that you can click on chests to read the inventory on. That's basically what it would be. It would just be an additional router block. But there's a reason why it's set up the way it is. It's because I can then expand it into more different like routers and stuff. The idea being that you'd have like a central, say, like hub, and then inside the hub you could then click view connections or something, and it would say, oh, this exporter here is connected to this importer over here. So it'd work as like a network manager for your routers, as well as storage, as well as like crafting or whatever. Yeah, I was never a fan of that. I guess this still doesn't work. Yeah. Well, we used the what did we use in Submerged? Modular interfaces or whatever they were called. And then Fractured is Tom's. Yeah, Tom's simple storage. But the main storage I'm using is shelves from AE2. Yeah, Submerged was modular, and then Fractured is definitely Tom's storage. I think that's always the trouble with like mods like that. Unless you're going to go to the level that AE2 does, which is like the people that work on it are absolutely geniuses. So I don't think we need this recipe holder. Yeah, I 100% agree. There's nothing that even comes close anymore. Refined storage is pretty good now. Slot parameters. What is this? It's like any mod though. Any mod can have performance issues. I mean, I still don't know the performance impact of any of the mods for 26.1 yet. Pretty sure routers will be better than what it was. The dev of Infinity 01 is removing pipes. What is Infinity 01? Oh, this is the copy of all the mods. Yeah, they are laggy. There is a mod to fix performance though. You say that. This project was actually taken down because they literally were a copy and paste of all the mods 10. They even had the files in there that referenced all the mods 10. I don't think it was just the quest line, it was recipes and everything, as far as I know. There is a mod that fixes pipes anyway. That one. Yeah, I don't know the full details on it. I just know that it was taken down. Don't know what's going on with the observable, to be fair. They haven't touched their GitHub for like a year. It's under MPL 2.0 license. Commercial use, modification, distribution, patent use, private use. Curved pipes are so cursed. Just like closed everything by mistake. Yeah, we desperately need to find. We need to find where Advanced Loot Info is doing loot tables. Data gen mixing. Network. Plugin. Mods. Farmer's Delight. Don't need that. iForge, NeoForge plugin. Picture in picture. Network. Plugin. Common. Tooltips. Client. Widget. Loot pool widget. Loot table widget. We've seen all this. ALI common registries. No loot in there. Ender IO pipes are probably the best ones. Data gen configuration API. I have no idea what to do loot. JEI gameplay loop. Yeah, that was pretty good, yeah. I literally have no idea where they're doing this. Prepare gameplay type. Block categories. This might be it. Get catalyst. Category dot get catalyst. No. Doesn't say what this is though. JEI loot. JEI gameplay loop. It is this. Loot category. Is that Minecraft? No. Loot table widget. Gameplay loot table recipe. Identify ID, list item stack outputs. So this is, and how are they actually using this? Tooltip. Put all map config gameplay categories. Get collector. Get collector is loot constructor. Here we go. This might be something. Functional interface loot constructor. Extends iType. And iType is entry inputs, outputs. Where is it gone? Oh, here it is. So it's doing that. Yeah, so there is a way of doing it, 100%. I wonder if first we should see if we can actually add support to this mod. And then we can see where it's doing it. Is this just planning on currently? Is this just planning on updating current mods to newer versions? No, this is a new mod. This is Sniffy Sniffers. All my mods are already updated. Apart from like 1 or 2. But this is going to be used in Cabopolis. But obviously, I like to be able to... And there's no way of actually showing what the sniffer drops. You did usually used to have like a big BBO logo on the side, but yeah. Everything in this mod is default textures. Which is not... These are just recolored. But the eggs and the baby one and this, they're all vanilla. But they will probably get textured by you when... I wonder if we want to not pass the loot table now. And then build the... Maybe we build the results on the actual registration of the recipes. Cool. Good. Glad you like the colours because they were completely guessed. They're not color coded for resources, no. The resources are dictated by whatever block they're digging. But there is a... So I was thinking of doing like a tint overlay on them. Because the way it works, so the sniffer will track out a certain block when it moves, and if it's a valid block, that's how it works. But I might. And then you'd know what it's mining, but just didn't think it was needed because you can see what they're mining. Imagine making a mod pack around animals and resources. Yeah. Just wait till you see Caveopolis. But the idea is for Caveopolis anyway. I'm glad you like the colours though, because I thought they looked alright, to be fair. Yeah, it looks different to the normal one. But then the baby one's the same as the baby one of them. But obviously with these sniffers as well, I've increased their... decreased, I guess. Their like waiting time between mining. So that's why you see them digging more often than you would with a normal one. But I think this is why I wanted to use loot tables though, because loot tables you can do empty results. So if you wanted to, like, having this always drop is very OP. If you could add like an empty. Can you actually ride snippers? No. Why would you not be able to ride that? This mod probably would have come useful in contained. Pipes changes. Enables you to adjust the pipe upgrade configurations. Yeah, that you could do that anyway. Pretty sure you could do that. Pipes. Amount of items transferred. Oh no, maybe not. Yeah, that probably would have been quite nice. Okay, let's try that. We don't really need to add it now, though. No point. Yeah, that was basically what we did. To be fair, it only come out a month ago. It's not like... Oh, no, it didn't come out a year ago. I take it back. Well, great news. It didn't work. Doesn't even show the category now. See, this is all it does is just read the loot table, so I don't understand. Why is mine now broken? What if I do that? No, you're not going to show me anything, are you? Been 3 months. Oh, you finally got that name back. It does show. So, what are they doing? How are they doing this? This doesn't even say here. Because they must all be their own recipe categories. So confused. Loot category, identify loot category. The recipe type becomes this. see if they're doing that anyway. Debug recipe category. Don't think it's that. I literally have no idea how they're doing this. You'd think there'll be somewhere they'll be adding it, but where on earth did you find that? In the config. Oh my god, it is in the config. If I had 1,000 guesses, I never would have said it was here. Right, so sniffer digging. That's still see the category. Ah, so this is the builder. Okay. So actually, we can do. Can we just gameplay loot category? So we just want to copy all this. I feel like we probably do. And then what, it just says list of pattern compile. And then that's the loot table there. But then I didn't even list the patterns. What is a pattern? Is this Java? I still don't understand how they're reading the loot table. Because obviously that's loot table types. But I just don't see where they're reading loot table. So we were looking in the right place as well. So let's just see if we can add this. And then we want God, where do we go now? The trouble is, it's all private. Let's just try to copy it. We need that. God, this is so confusing. Wait, this won't work. Yeah, this won't work. This won't work. This won't work because this is, again, this is just pointing to a loot table. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, no, this is not a solution. I think we just need to try and somehow access loot tables from the client. I think the only time we can get the loot table is when we actually build the recipes. Because that's the only time we have access to the server. To do access transformers. One of the painful things. Because they never ever work first time. Yeah, obviously it doesn't like the file. Oh my god, wait, there's a way to do this. But this is quite something. Just don't know if this is possible. But it is possible, obviously, but I just don't think I've got the capabilities of doing it. Let's try that. Hopefully all the... Oh, I don't know if this will work either, because we still might be accessing the server. Yeah, it still doesn't work. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what to say about this, really. Yeah, but the issue is with JEI, you never have access to the loot table, right? That's the problem we're having. Still doesn't load. What's up, Silo? Yeah, don't use it yet. It's not working. The tags thing I need to fix. But I do apologize. The thing is, you could send... I could send the... I guess I could send somehow the loot from the data pack sync-in event. Maybe. But I just feel like this should work. Even though I think even using that, thinking about it, even if you use the data pack sync event, would it get that information before JER tries to load it? So what do we do here? Because obviously, so on data pack sync, we event send recipes. That's all you can do. You can only send recipes, so that isn't the solution. As I say, I just don't understand how advanced loot info works. I hate loot tables, and I hate tags, and I hate ingredients, and I hate blocks, I hate items. I really hate fluids as well. I don't like energy actually either. Let's have a look at the wiki. Their wiki is useless. I say the problem is they don't. Oh no, they do. They do it for blocks. I was gonna say they don't look at specific loot tables, but they do because they do block drops, which is a specific loot table. So is this a different category? So this is what they do here. I just don't see how they're getting the loot table. Like none of this screams loot table, does it? Sure. This is definitely reading a loot table. You'd think this would be quite easy to do, wouldn't you? Those sales packets. Fake loot data manager. Simple JSON reload listener. Oh my, we're not doing this. These are absolutely hell to work with. At that point, if we're going to go doing all this simple JSON reload stuff, we might as well just made it into a recipe instead of a data map. What I just don't understand is how is this doing this? Line 66 isn't fake loop. Line 66. I'm guessing it's different on GitHub. Are you on 1.20? Yeah, you're on the older version. Read loot tables. Oh, this could be it. Then where is this used? Sync loot tables. Send loot data chunk message. Server player. Loot data chunk message. Jesus, this is... I think we're at the point where the actual add-in of a recipe category for this is just going to be probably more than what the mod is. Because this is going to need custom networking, this is going to need whatever this is. Yeah, ATM 11 exists, yeah. There's not a lot of mods in it, though. Oh, there is one of my mods in it. The, Refined Construction Sticks mod. Yeah, Sazabi suggested, like, every BBL mod. The Skyblock version is usually like months and months away. Also, I don't really know what the plan is for modding going forward. Because 26.2 has already started snapshots, which is on the new rendering system. So I don't know if 26.1 is actually going to be as long term as I thought it would be. But at least like FTB have started working on 26.1. So I don't think we can be chasing versions because it's just so annoying to keep following updates. Yeah, they do have massive teams, yeah. To be honest, it is mostly just me, yeah. But Sazabi is worked on. Well, to be fair, we had a few mod pack like maintainers, but Sazabi was the only one doing anything. So the other ones have been removed. I've just left Sazabi in there. But the server side, I try and keep out of the way of really. So we're approaching 2 hours now, where all we wanted to do was add a JEI category. Unfortunately, this mission has failed. Spectacularly, I might add. Yeah, so the server side, we have more people. Obviously Xylo's the main one for like setting up the packs, and then Sazabi again does most of the updates. But actually, with Sazabi, I'd rather they were on the mod pack side more. But you are the quickest to update the servers. Yeah, no, it is quite quick, and we've got a obviously we've used the custom servers mod that I made as well, which does all the ranks and stuff, so yeah, you just love it. Remove empty loot table. Yeah, that's true. I mean, updating my own mods now is so much faster. Also, I think this is just going to have to be a big rip. don't think we can do this. Does that mod allow you to add your own via config? Block categories, maybe. No, I don't think it would actually. No, the issue is that, so the client and the server don't have access to the same information. That's the biggest problem here. And loot tables are purely stored on the server. So to get the loot table, I'd have to run it server side, which I can't do because JEI is client side. And then the only other option to that is to send packets, which we can do. It's just probably not worth doing. It's not even that, because I don't even know how you'd send, because it'd still be in the same situation, because you can't send the loot table. Well, you can send a list of item stacks, I guess. But then even that, if you send the item stacks, you're not sending any chances or anything. And then if we'd only do that, we'd have to convert it into the maybe chance results like we use for all of our mods. Yeah, you like making add-ons. I'm sure this is something you could do. Please. Question that is off topic. I don't mind off topic questions. If you don't mind answering, have you done any schooling for coding or self-taught? Mainly self-taught, but for specifically modding, I should get a link for this. Yeah, specifically for modding, Calp and Joe. Tutorials were really, really, really useful. They give you like the base of how to do things. Like some of the things we're doing here, they obviously won't teach you that, but it would tell you how to do simple things. And obviously, the more you do it, the more you understand it. And then you can do what I do, trying to implement a feature that you can't implement. Build Cradle. This is 26.2. Also, that is going to be it for the speaking stream, but I should be able to continue. So thanks for listening. And we're not going anywhere, we are carrying on. But yeah, it's 26.1.2.